only that, but mice, you can say like, oh, okay, some animals are more like either humanoid or more like slender or sleek. You can almost see where the perverse mind comes from. They're like, oh, that's like a very elegant animal. A fucking mouse? I don't get it in any sense. His influences included his parents.
And Disney, of course, Bambi.
Bambi! Bambi!
Twitter pated, bro.
Dude, Bambi had that whorish rabbit.
Yeah, Twitter pated.
Is that her name?
No, all the animals were Twitter pated in Bambi.
What the fuck is Twitter pated?
It's during the springtime when they all want to fuck.
Dude, typing in whorish rabbit worked. It's funny. Look at this.
Now, is that furry?
It's got that. It inspired it at the very least.
We're calling this poor guy that jerks off to his own mouse porn. He's crossed the line. Did Walt Disney cross the line?
Yes, they crossed the line. Yes, they crossed the line. When I was a kid, I remember seeing that rabbit do the fuck me eyes and be like, oh, bye. Please delete that.
Well, then you crushed that feeling into powder for 10 years.
Then I crushed it deep down, and it's never going to make another appearance again. No matter how many of these mouse drawings I look at. This is 100% crossing the line.
Alright, so really it's Disney's fault.
Fuck yeah, it's Disney's fault.
Disney corrupted this poor Japanese guy, and now we have furry porn.
You know what? We learned a valuable lesson about racism today. It's not always the suspects you think it is. Okay? This time it was America's fault.
Anyways, his stash of mouse porn cemented him as one of the modern history's earliest heroes.
Almost a decade later, in 1973, Disney's Robin Hood reimagined the outlaw and friends as charming talking animals, often cited as a child of furry interest, meaning they beat off to it in their teens, and judging by the 4,000 Rule 34 submissions, they haven't stopped.
4,000?
Let me tell you, Don, I always thought Maid Miriam was a total fox.
I really liked Robin Hood. It's one of my favorites.
You little do-gooder.
Aesthetically, it is very similar to furry, but I would not call these characters furries. I actually think that there's something wholly wholesome and unsexual about this. This is an iteration of the art style that predated all of the furry use cases, so it feels unfair to go back and say, oh, that's furry art.
Also, look at Maid Miriam. That is a modest woman.
It's a modest, God-fearing, good
she's
woman.
Covered up. You know, she's wearing the correct regalia and garb. I think this is trying to teach kids something important.
But they didn't take the right lessons from it. Is that Robin Hood's fault? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna classify this as not furry.
Not furry, but it looks a lot like furry, because furries are plagiarists.
Once Japanese and Western pop culture both embraced anthropomorphic animals, the groundwork was set. The seed was planted, and the harvest was weird. Formation of the furry fandom. The modern furry fandom emerged in the late 1970s from sci-fi and comic circles.
In 1976, cartoonists Ken Fletcher and Reed Waller launched Voodie, a fanzine for funny animal comics. Funny animal comics.
Really funny.
Guys, these are really funny.
See, there's a cat girl with a very sheer dress on.
Jesus Christ. These comics included adult themes like Waller's Omaha the Cat Dancer.
So this was America again.
Yes.
You like to pretend you're these like cultural warriors of chastity. Look at this.
No, I mean furries are definitely our fault. Stuff didn't come from England.
You're damn right it didn't.
Voodie's contributors and readers formed a small network and began meeting up at general sci-fi and comic
This goes so deep.
and comic conventions. Furry historian Fred Patton.
That's not a real job. Can we get him on Big Brain?
Oh, that'd be sick. Furry historian Fred Patton notes a pivotal 1980 sci-fi convention discussion sparked by the art in Steve Delachi's Albedo Anthropomorphics. This led to regular fan gatherings focused on anthropomorphic animal characters in sci-fi movies.
Do you know what? People say like slippery slopes aren't real. Go and look at that fucking cat girl. It started with a naked woman or an almost naked woman, and they gave her a tail and some little ears. You think, oh, that's silly. Now, after boiling the frog for 50 years, we get what we have. So I don't want to hear anyone ever say that slippery slope argument is a fallacy. Because it's absolutely not.
Which is worse, do you think? Making a syndicated comic about a sexualized cat stripper, or drawing and jerking off to your own mouse porn? the secret?
This one, because this one you're distributing to the masses. The other guy had a healthy amount of shame. In the privacy of our own homes, when the doors are shut and the VPN's on, we all probably do some weird shit. But this guy fucking took it public, and that's wrong. That's wrong, and you know it. This is really, you're starting to really get the DNA of
You're starting,
down to like the bad artistry.
You're starting to see it, yeah. All the main tropes coming through.
The weird thing about furries is they're either the absolute worst fucking artists you've ever seen, or the absolute best, most incredible fucking artists you've ever seen, and you're like, why are you wasting your extraordinary talents on the mum from Lion King 2 ploughing Timon and Pumbaa?
Angels corrupted by the bag. Oh, I can make it a quick buck. Conditioning, you know?
That's what you'd like to think, right?
And then you just
a
get,
good, wholesome capitalist reason.
They just got dragged into hell. They got in too deep.
We've certainly flirted with getting in too deep. Luckily, our autism for Warhammer has always outweighed our autism for tons of money. By the late 1980s, fans started hosting room parties at bigger cons. After run-ins with furry haters at BayCon, it did not take long for the haters to show up. Instantly.
What year was this?
This was back when you could stuff people in lockers as well. Someone wore like glasses, and people were like, what a fucking loot, and like stuff them in the locker. Imagine being a furry during this time.
They don't even have costumes.
You can't say these people aren't like brave.
Yeah, they're probably just wearing like little construction paper ears. To the comic convention.
In 1980, that's mad.
With comic nerds.
They're still just jocks crashing these conventions.
You're not here for Superman? You kidding me?
After run-ins with furry haters at BayCon, they decided to start their own safe space. In 1989, the first official furry convention was called Conference Zero in California with 65 attendees. A small but solid start for a dedicated furry convention. This became the first dedicated furry convention, sparking an era of annual gatherings.
By the 90s, multiple furry cons have popped up across the US. Anthrocon started in 97, and by the late 2000s was pulling thousands, paving the way for today's record breaker, Midwest Fur Fest, which hit over 11,000 attendees in 2019, making furry gatherings as large as some mainstream animal or comic It is still bizarre.
Being able to rack up the numbers of people. So people used to be isolated in like their small communities and towns, and you wouldn't be able to find like a community of like-minded furries and or Warhammer fans to like build there. So then as soon as you get the internet, now like if you want to talk in depth about the
galleries became a central hub where, even today, thousands of artists and fans can goon together in perfect harmony.
Truly delightful.
Furry content also gained a foothold on mainstream platforms during the 2000s, which is furfan. In a notable acknowledgement, DeviantArt added an official anthropomorphic category in 2006 for its millions of users, reflecting how much furry art was being submitted. I don't know if that was so much an acknowledgement as a moderation move.
It's containment.
Yeah, if you have a website called DeviantArt for, artists to submit their digital art, and it is just wall-to-wall bad furry art.
They did shoot themselves in the foot calling it deviant art. What the fuck did they expect was going to happen?
Furries were early adopters of virtual worlds and video sharing as well. A large furry user base formed on Second Life, the 3D virtual world launched in 2003, where fans created animal avatars and even ran in-world furry nightclubs. This is what I'm talking about with the VR today. That was exactly what Second Life was, except there were no VR headsets yet.
Furries also took to YouTube, starting around 2005. Many fursuiters began posting their own videos, subjecting the rest of the population to their gay performances. This, our producer wrote this. We're innocent, Flash Kids innocent, 2025 innocent. By commandeering these new platforms, the fandom reached beyond its own websites and became more visible to the general internet populace.
Stereotypes, controversies, and public perception. As the fandom grew, it grappled with unfair stereotypes and sensational media coverage, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s. Unfair how? Huh?
Yeah, dude. Get them done.
Who's ever been unfair to the furries?
Yeah, who?
Mainstream media often unfairly fixated on the most salacious or sexual aspects. And we haven't gotten to this in the script. Dozens of prolific pedophiles and zoophiles.
Let me play devil's advocate. Dozens out of a community of trillions.
There are trillions, and there's also trillions more with 40K fans. We're the zoophiles and the one with 40K.
Ah, okay.
Or the pedophiles and the one with 40K is better. That's all I'm saying.
I realise we are far closer to these madmen than one would want to admit. Just the absolute preoccupation and constant thought of the one fucking topic that we liked. God damn.
What should we make videos about on this channel? I don't like anything.
What do you like?
Let's make a list of things we like.
Fair point. There are no zoophiles or pedophiles in the wild community, probably. For example, a 2001 Vanity Fair article and the infamous 2003 CSI episode, Fur and Loathing, both portrayed furries as solely focused on fetishistic costuming and sexual kinks.
Hell yeah, dude.
These depictions created a public perception that furries were all about weird sex and fursuits.
Are you not?
Caricature the community is never quite shaken off. Maybe it's because of all the orgies and the pornography.
Yeah, there's so much furry porn. There's so much. I remember I was in a class when I was in college, and it was like a small class of my major. It was like a dozen people in it, and there was a kid in the front row on his laptop just browsing furry porn.
That's a good point, right? Because not to bang the same old drum for eternity until we fucking turn to dust, but how much Warhammer porn is there? Not that much. And it is a way bigger like property than furries, right? Difficult to give an exact number, but estimates suggest there are between 1.4 and 2.8 million furries worldwide. The Warhammer 40k subreddit has over 1 million participants. Dude, if just the subreddit has 1 million participants, there's gotta be way more Warhammer fans. Not that our cartoon has anything to do with Warhammer whatsoever, but if there's 10 million viewers of Space King Episode 1, then surely a bigger franchise like Warhammer has way more fans.
How many furries worldwide?
1.4 to 2.8 million.
That is not many people, relatively speaking.
Compared to the amount of porn they output. To say that the sexual reputation is kind of unearned, I mean, is it?
It's inescapably in the DNA of the fandom.
Right down to the fucking hidden shameful mouse drawings in a Japanese man's death store from 1965.
We're not saying, and you can't say, oh, if you're a furry, you like this stuff, fine. But I'd imagine a lot of them do, probably even most of them to some extent. If you're so fixated on your persona and building this costume and everything else, and as a human you're a sexual being, what do you think about having sex with?
I like the idea of sister and battle boobies. Smoking gun.
Why not?
That's a smoking gun, Don.
I don't think you're a weird guy, Tom.
Thank you.
In response to these unfair accusations, furry conventions instituted strict media policies requiring press to be supervised and to respect attendees' privacy to avoid misrepresentation. Okay, to respect not observing them go to the hotel rooms and have orgies. And again, it's like, fine, you know? Like, no one's telling you to stop. It's just, let's call a spade a spade.
That's probably a different term you could use.
Fandom leaders like Anthrocom's chairman, Dr. Samuel Uncle Cage Conway.
How did you get the nickname Uncle Cage? That's a bit much.
Dr. Samuel.
Wow, yeah, Dr. Samuel.
What is he a doctor of?
Fucking veterinarian. Oh, that was good. That got you.
Yeah, they like animals, I do.
Why is he called Uncle Cage? That's such a fucking red flag of a name. He's known for his storytelling. That's what you want in a doctor. Someone known for their storytelling.
Oh, let's see the fursuit.
Lesser known to the fandom is the fact that Uncle Cage used to wear the fursuit of artist Terry Smith's character Chester Ringtail incognito in the early 2000s. See, even this motherfucker's ashamed of it. He knows.
Chairman of Anthrocon, Uncle Cage, even held training panels on how furries should talk to journalists, emphasizing professionalism to combat negative stereotypes. Over time, this proactive PR, along with sucking up to the general populace with charity work, somewhat helps their reputation.
That feels a bit unfair. How you sucking up to the populace about charity, huh?
Oh, you
Faker.
bunch of pedos
Pretending to be kind. Building like wells in Africa or something. Yeah, nice try, dude. You're not putting the wool over my eyes. The furry community has also faced internal controversies that shift its culture. The Burnt Furs movement emerged in the late 1990s, aiming to purge deviant elements from the furry fandom, publishing a manifesto criticizing adult content.
Awesome.
This sparked a 3-year forum, ultimately collapsing as most furries rejected the movement as divisive, but not before internalizing some lessons along the way. I'm fascinated to hear what lessons they internalized.
Yeah, were they like an autistic Christian furry group?
Furries for Christ would go so fucking hard. It's like Christian metal.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
got that stink to it. You're like, oh, come on, guys.
Did they practice abstinence?
Oh, you were right!
Christian furs.
Christian furs! God damn, we're good done.
And they were intolerant of the gays.
Of course they were. Oh my days.
Get out, gays!
Christian furs only.
Being a furry is about being gay.
It's about Jesus. I love this dude. This is awful.
God bless. And they failed.
Someone consider this the 14th crusade.
We salute you for trying.
Oh, look
they
at
had
that
a little
shield.
blast.
You know what? The world is a fucking place.
By the early 2000s, there was a conscious push to foster a more positive, welcoming atmosphere in furry circles, becoming more openly accepting of different lifestyles and adopting an informal, live and let live ethos, so long as everyone behaved responsibly.
Furry identity and politics. As the fandom entered the 21st century, having a persona became almost universal. Surveys by researchers, most furry fans created one or more